So everyone, so my PC has just crashed. I'm out of the race. I'm trying to get back into it as soon as possible. Please stay with me here. Seems like everything's going wrong for this broadcast today. Try to make the best of it anyway. That's desperately trying to. The race is still going. I'm reconnecting to the server right now. And looks like I am in now, so switching over to the game very shortly. As there we are, so while that was all going on, it looks like Jaroslav Honzik has overtaken Thomas Jensen, and Jensen has spun off there. No, so Jensen, is he going to lose any positions out of that? Looks like he will drop to P3, P4 I mean. There's another car off in the background. And that was Magnus Smedegaard. As P6 has also just gone off. So Radek Polexak has also gone off. So ooh, definitely some people struggling right now. That's interesting. Yeah, crash away for a little while and suddenly everybody spun off. That's all going really well. Yeah, we've got Victor Berlin and Sebastian Brunier fighting again as they were earlier in the race. As John Dalton and Jaroslav Honzik have just started the final lap. As unfortunately the timing is glitching out a bit as well as a result of that disconnect. Jaroslav Honzik getting very close to John Dalton now. So can Honzik still take the lead on this final lap? As he tries to go down the inside here, he does almost make it past there. And a bit into the grass there, but keeps it nicely on the road. As they are very close to the end of the lap now. So Onzik might have to try something ambitious here. Doesn't look like he will be able to, and so it will be John Dalton who takes P1 in race 1 here at Mid-Ohio, as Michael Martel will take P3 and Thomas Jensen will take P4. Magnus Smedegaard looks set to take P5. And as Hank Bizzle just pointed out in chat, the tires do become an issue toward the end of the race in these cars, so that could explain the synchronized spinning we saw there. Mark Woodford finishes in P6 and Radek Paleksek will finish in P7. Michael Jepsel takes P8, Bartosz Szabazinski takes P9, Vinnie Roberts takes P10, Victor Berlin takes P11, P12 is Sebastian Brunier, Thomas Olsen takes P13, Tom Pottage will come 14th, and Guillaume Brusset will take P15. And so there we have the results of the race, with Jaroslav Honzik taking the fastest lap, and our race winner for race 1 is John Dalton. And it looks like Guillaume Brusset will have pole position for race 2, which is a reverse grid for the top 15. And so they're off again, as it seems Thomas Olsen had a bit of trouble at the start there. On the way to the barriers. Oh, somebody's gone off. Looks like it's Szabazinski who did go off the track there. And John Dalton is all the way down the back of the grid, as is Thijs Dendo, Jaroslav Honzik, Victor Berlin. That's a big hit for Honzik. As well as looks like not an entirely clean start right there. Anyway, we go on with Thomas Jensen in P6. There's a bit of fighting going on behind Jensen with Michael Smedegaard and Michael Jepsel. Jensen is making the move on Vinnie Roberts. So Jensen moves up to P5. And so it looks like it's a very quick recovery for Jensen in race 2. They're starting further down the grid because of the top 15 reversed grid. So now he's right behind his teammate Sebastian Brunier. Guillaume Brusset looks to be closing up on Radek Paleksek. Meanwhile, in all of that, Tom Pottage has taken the lead. And he has quite a margin now. It looks like Jensen will get past his teammate. So that's all happened nice and clean. As Jensen might be attempting the move on Brissett here. Jensen will stick behind for now. Meanwhile, Dalton and Honzik have made their way up to P11 and P12. They're running into a bit of trouble at the start. Oh, Mark Woodford has spun. Mark Woodford has spun and has dropped all the way down to P12. P13 apparently. The timing was glitching out a bit there. Radek Polexek has somehow ended up in P1. Anything happened to Tom Pottage? It looks like it might have. As Pottage has now dropped down to P3 as Jansen is back up to P2. Here we have Vinnie Roberts fighting Sebastian Brunier. Robert's trying to go down the inside there, but not really a good place to try and do so. Vinnie Roberts is off into the barrier. Getting into some bit of trouble at the final corner. Jobstel also lost it. As another one lost it behind them, and Vinnie Roberts has lost it again. There seems to be a lot of crashes right now in race 2. Vinnie Roberts is still on the grass, now down in P16. As someone's gone off in there again. This is Yves Deleu. So, seems to be a lot going wrong right now, as I think... Not sure what Yves is trying to do right here. He throws it into the barrier again. And he retires into the pit lane, as has Vinnie Roberts. Anyway, let's see if we can get some clean overtaking now. That will be good. Possibly here with John Dalton now. And Jaroslav Honzik have now gotten ahead of Smedegaard. So they will be on to Sebastian Brunier net. As I say that, they are both making the move on Brunier. So Dalton is definitely ahead now. It looks like Honzik is still side by side. And they are making their way down to the next corner. So let's see if Honzik can indeed catch up right here. Looks like Brunier is going slightly faster right now. Let's see if he can do anything into the braking zone. And so Honzik has made the move on Brunier, it seems. And so Honzik is up to P7. As meanwhile John Dalton has made his way to P5 ahead of Guillaume Brissett. And we'll be on to Michael Martel next. Honzik also ahead of Brissett now. They're in P5 and P6. With their main rival Jansen in P2. Might Sebastian Brunier make the move on Guillaume Bisset here? Looks like he might. As he will go down the inside right here. And Bisset runs a bit wide. And so that's allowed Brunier to get in front. So John Dalton and Jaroslav Honzik are still trying to make their way up the grid. They are behind Michael Martel now, fighting for P4. After an eventful start for both of them. We're now on board with Magnus Smedegaard right behind Guillaume Bisset. So looks like Martel made a mistake, and that's allowed Dalton and Honzik to get in front. And looks like Sebastian Brunier has got in front as well. And so will Guillaume Bisset. As Martel immediately moves down the inside of Bisset to try and get the position back. And so it looks like Martel will be in P7 with John Dalton in P4 and Honzik in P5. And here we are onto Thomas Jensen behind Radek Polexek. As I think Michael Jepsel has also retired. Jensen is definitely closing up to Polexek. Both John Dalton and Jaroslav Honzik will be trying to close up to Tom Pottage, who is currently in P3. You can see in the background there. So here we have Honzik and Dalton. And seen this fight before. Let's see what's going to happen this time around, as Michael Martel might be closing up to Brunier. Fighting for P6 still. As Martel will move it down the inside there. Yes, the camera rudely switches back. And Martel has taken P6. And Sebastian Brunier, I think, ripped down to P8, so looks like Smedegaard took Brunier there as well. So here we have John Dalton and Jaroslav Honzik going side by side almost. Looks like Dalton did have to take the defensive line on the inside there. So Dalton definitely driving defensively right now, which is what I think Tom Pottage will want. As there we go, Honzik moves down the inside of Dalton. And I think he's got to back out of that. As Thomas Jansen is definitely getting closer to Radek Balexek now in the fight for first position, as we are about halfway through the race now. Thomas Olsen's had some trouble and has returned to the pit lane. So here we have Honzik behind Dalton again. So they are still at it. Yes, oh, Victor Berlin has gone off. And he is now missing his front bumper. And has dropped down to P12. So just staying ahead of Shabasinski. But this is not going to be a good result for him. The gap to P11 is pretty big now. As Berlin goes off again. No major damage this time around though. But Jensen might be able to make a move on Balexek here down the inside. As they will go side by side through here. Balexek getting onto the grass a little bit. And Jensen is going to slot in behind for now. And so Balexek will defend down the inside here. As Jensen tries to take him. No, he won't. He'll back out of that. But these two are going to be fighting for a little while longer. And a half minutes left. As Honzik is still trying to overtake Dalton. Meanwhile, their gap to Tom Pottage seems to be increasing. So I think Pottage will be very happy about this fight. As Victor Berlin is in the pit lane now. He has not retired, but instead going to repair that damage, it seems. Jensen is getting close to Paleksek again. And will he take him down the outside this time around? No, doesn't look like he will. Maybe into the next corner. Going to have the outside line again. And so it looked like Radek did defend that nicely. Radek stays in P1. Berlin is back out on track, but got quite a large gap to the next car. And so I think he'll just be trying to finish the race from here and claim those points for P13. We do reward points for the entire grid in this in our leagues, so there is definitely a point in him staying out in that position. Just 9 minutes left in the race now. And there's still some battling going on between Thomas Jensen and Radek Paleksek for P1. As well as between John Dotton and Jaroslav Honzik for P4. Tom Pottage is looking comfortably in P3 right now though. So these two are very close now, and Honzik might be trying to move around the outside here. So is he going to get a better exit? Looks like he will. And so it will be Honzik in P4 from now on. 8 minutes left here at Mid-Ohio. So looks like that was a good move from Jaroslav Honzik. Took him quite a while, but he's finally done it. As now they've got a 3 to 4 second gap to Tom Pottage in front of them. They can see Pottage, but they're going to have to drive a bit hard to catch up to him. With just 7.5 minutes left, as here we are back to Thomas Jensen and Radek Paleksek. Paleksek will again defend down the inside here. And Kevin Jensen finally gets side by side this time around. Looks like he will. And so maybe running a bit wide there, had to back out of it. So it looks like this battle might just keep going until the very end. Meanwhile, here we have Mark Whitford and Guillaume Brusset fighting for P9. So could Whitford do anything around there? No, he won't. He's going to be there for a little while longer, as here we have Jensen and Palexek at it again. So Palexek will once again have the inside here. Jensen got very close to overtaking him on the last lap. So can he do it this time around? Looking good so far. Definitely ahead right now. And he has done it, so Jensen will take P1. As Jensen will be trying to extend his gap from now on. No, Jensen can be quite a bit faster than Palexek, at least he was in qualifying. As Jaroslav Honzik and John Dalton are very close to Tom Pottage now. 4.5 minutes for them to try and overtake. For Honzik or Dalton to try and get that final podium position. Like meanwhile Whitford has moved up to P9 and going to move on Guillaume Brusset. Gaining slightly there, but let's go back to Honzik, who is definitely getting very close to Tom Pottage now. And so he will be looking for an opportunity to overtake as soon as possible, I think, because there's only 3.5 minutes left, so it looks like it's going to be another 2 laps or so. Maybe 3 laps? Guess we'll find out. Honzik will be trying to make the move into the next corner, with Pottage defending down the inside here. And they do go side by side again, but Pottage is staying nicely ahead so far. Can Honzik send it down the inside here? It looks like he will. And so, oh! Big mistake for Tom Pottage there, running off into the grass. And dropping down to P5, trying to get back on the road before Michael Martel arrives. And looks like he will just about manage to do that. And so it will be Honzik in P3, John Dalton in P4 and Tom Pottage in P5. Now can these guys still close the gap to Palexek with 2 minutes left? I don't think so. So another 2 laps from here. Looks like the others are just going to be cruising it to the finish line from this point. Still going to get interesting between John Dalton and Jaroslav Honzik though, as they are still very close together, as they have been the entire race. So let's see if Honzik can create a gap here, as they will be entering the final lap very shortly. Here we can see Jansen in P1, who has created a nice gap to Palexek now. And thus the final lap has started. "13 cars still on track. And John Dalton still trying to close the gap to Honzik. And I think that's going to prove difficult on this final lap here. Normally this seems to be the main overtaking spot, but obviously not close enough to really try anything, although Honzik seems to be going a bit slowly through there. Dalton a bit twitchy. Sorry. So it looks like it's going to be Thomas Jansen who takes the win in race 2, with Radek Palexek finishing in P2. And Honzik takes P3, just about ahead of John Dalton, who finishes P4. Then it will be Michael Martel who takes P5, ahead of Magnus Smedegaard in P6. Tom Pottage will take P7. So maybe something else happened to him after losing out to Honzik and Dalton. Guillaume Brisset looks set to take P8. Ahead of Sebastian Bernier in P9. As here we have Mark Whitford in P10, who has some heavy damage to his front end. Looks like he's going to finish this race anyway in P10. As then though will take P11. As Bartosz Szabazinski is a bit of a way down the track in P12. Unless he has any trouble from here, that will be his finishing position. So Szabazinski takes P12 and Victor Berlin takes P13. So Thomas Jansen takes the win and the fastest lap, ahead of Radek Palexek, Jaroslav Honzik, John Dalton and Michael Martel. And so, thank you all very much for watching. Apologies for for the couple of issues that's been happening this stream. Unfortunate, but such things happen every now and then. So if you did enjoy this stream, please remember to click. I can't talk anymore. Click the like button. So if you want to see our upcoming races, then make sure to subscribe to this channel. Next up will be next Monday, the OVRC GT2 series at Spa. And then next week on Thursday will be the GT4 series at Motegi. And the Porsche GT3 Cup series will be back also at Motegi in 2 weeks time, Monday. So thank you all again very much for watching, and goodbye.